Y2K is here. This is the film directed by Kyle Mooney about Y2K is coming. What's going to happen on New Year's Eve, 1999? Will humanity be destroyed? Will there be an apocalypse? Or will absolutely nothing happen? Which is actually what in truth happened. Alan, tell us about Y2K.
Yes, so Y2K is the story of Eli, young teen Eli, who has a crush on a popular girl named Laura, played by Rachel Zegler. But that's just a side plot. Really, this is about the friendship between Eli and his best friend Danny. Danny, played by Julian Dennison from Deadpool 2. So they go to a party, try to be, the parents of Eli say, it's New Year's Eve. You should go out, go meet some friends, and kiss a girl when the bell rings. They go to a party with Danny. Danny weirdly becomes very popular at this party, and Eli is kind of cast to the side. And Danny's having a great time, but Eli's not. And then New Year's Eve happens. The clock strikes 12. The power goes out. And suddenly all the appliances and all the electronics with processing chips in them, they begin attacking the partygoers. Death and mayhem occur. Danny, Eli, and Laura, they escape, and they must figure out how to stop this impending apocalypse. And I will call this, I think the best way to describe the movie is this is the Breakfast Club, but during the apocalypse. Here, what did you think of Y2K?
That's the premise which you get from the trailer. I did not like this film. It's not for several reasons, and it's not Rachel Zegler. She's the least of its problems, but to be clear, let's talk about her off the bat. She is weightless. She is a very good singer. I think she's a very good singer, and that is the extent of her talent. I think seeing her in West Side Story, seeing her in the Hunger Games, she is weightless. She adds nothing as an actress. She might as well be a background character, a side character. She is nothing special. When I think of like Jenna Ortega and what she has done with her roles, she adds something. I think Rachel Zegler is not a very good actress.
Yeah. Jenna Ortega is a presence. She has a presence in the film.
Jenna Ortega is a presence. Anya Taylor-Joy, a presence. Rachel Zegler is weightless. I don't say this because of comments that she's made on social media about politics. She can say what she wants. Doesn't help her case because I don't think she's very good. And she was one of the weakest aspects of West Side Story, a movie where I love the original by Robert Wise. The Spielberg remake was not great. Did not love it. And she did not. I feel like she adds nothing to a role. Now, does she ruin things she's in? Maybe because of comments on social media. But she's not the reason this movie fails. This movie tone is so weird. It sort of has all the check boxes of coming of age. Are we going to drink alcohol? Are we going to do drugs and smoke pot? Are we going to, what if I get laid? There's a whole subplot where Eli's friend has a condom that he keeps trying to give him to use, which comes into play at a pivotal scene. I won't ruin it, but it's just, it didn't build the world. When suddenly there's a change after Y2K, killing and mayhem happens right after midnight. But how did these devices, they needed to show me more so I would buy the premise. The premise is dumb. I know it's dumb. And and I like a good dumb premise, but it didn't sell it. And suddenly you've got these walking Terminator-like robots that are forcing humanity to have chips installed in their brain so they can just, log into the net in their minds, right? jack in. It's typical. You meet a ton of teenagers at this party. They're killed off one by one, getting down to a small group. Kyle Mooney, the director, is actually in the film as a character. He's like a stoner named Garrett who works at the video store. I like Kyle Mooney a lot. He was one of the standouts on SNL. He also in the early 2000s did these like videos where he would go to like a wrestling convention and interview people. I think Kyle Mooney is a talent. I think he's funny. In this as director, I feel like the movie played it safe in some ways. The kills are kind of dumb, and like I saw it. By the way, I saw it with a packed audience. The very first screening at AMC Burbank 16, it was full, and people were laughed here and there, but it did not get a big reaction. And they passed out when we went there. They passed out this right here, this thing of like, the filmmakers want your feedback on Y2K. So scan that, tell them what you think.
No, actually watch the movie.
You could get a $5 gift card or whatever. I was colossally disappointed because I like, and Rachel did not bother me. I'm like, all right, put that aside. She's playing a part. I'll go see it. But she's not the reason the movie doesn't work. It's the tone. It's that they kind of held back. I think it would have been, there's a whole thing about 90s, a lot of 90s stuff. You know, the movie opens with the sound of logging onto AOL. I laughed. But like, these are weird member berries. Maybe we're not ready for early 2000 nostalgia. And this movie is the first. It's his, I think, the first movie he directed. He was in a movie, did not direct it, but very good, called Brigsby Bear.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Brigsby Bear. He didn't direct that one, but man, that's good. So love Kyle Mooney. I think he's funny. And his character gets a lot of screen time. He's as a side character is funny, but did not work for me. I can't recommend this film. 5 out of 10 for me, but a not recommend. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we have a night bitch situation. I think I liked it a lot. I liked it better than you.
Oh, wow.
To the point where I could give it a very bare recommendation. I thought it was okay. My big issue with the film is the story, in the sense that I don't think it goes far enough in terms of the horror. From the it doesn't go far enough from the apocalypse standpoint. Also, you know, it would have been nice to kind of make this somewhat of a teen sex comedy. Because when the goal is to kiss a girl versus what you normally associate with teen sex comedies, it's like, oh, you just sense that limits are being placed on this story, that you can't go far as far to, because the entire goal is for Eli to kiss Laura. That's it. And to Rachel Zegler's credit, I think her performance is great in the sense of, I disagree. No, hold on. Let me just say this. I think she's great because she passes off as a normal, pleasant person in this movie, and I think that portrayal is just it. I mean, it's like you look at her and it's like, oh, that's a nice person. You know,
she can. Yeah, in real life, she is a night bitch.
Yeah,
and in this, she can come off as kind.
Yes, she's showing off her acting chops as being normal.
Yeah.
So good job there. I honestly, I did like when I walked in, I thought it was just going to be a Y2K teen drama. And it really didn't dawn on me until it happened that this is a horror film. But
the horror is played
it's light. It's very
light horror. And I'll say this, I can confirm that a friend of mine saw this over a year ago at a test screening.
Mm-hmm.
You know this friend.
Yes.
And said it was way raunchier,
Oh.
gorier, and
Oh.
it had a lot of humor that was anti-woke, and they cut it all.
Oh my
He
God.
said the original cut. He convinced me. He goes, "We gotta see it. It's so funny. It's so funny." And we both sat there going, like,
Oh.
"When does it get so funny?" Apparently, they held back. So
That
they
just
need
proves
to
my
do
point.
when this comes to digital. They need to release
The original
that
movie.
cut, the original cut, because yeah, like, yes, it should have been raunchier. It should have been gorier, like so stupid gory. It's ridiculous. And then it should have been kind of like a comment, not being so anti, but a comment on how we're kind of dumb now with the woke shit. So we were different people in 1999.
See,
So by contrast, show that commenting on the present.
well, that was my point. When the goal is to kiss a girl, the movie is playing it safe. Even as a horror film, it's playing it safe, and that's the problem. That is why wokeness killed cinema, is because it places limits. And when you place limits, you don't get to push things as far as you want to, and make the film that you want to, a film that people remember, think about, and talk about. I mean, now I'm not surprised that this movie was raunchier and gorier.
And the thing is, to be clear, this movie is not really woke in any way at all.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's zero. But it had an opportunity to be funnier.
It blew it.
Blew it.
I mean, it's not like it was there. They filmed it. And in terms of directing, I thought Kyle Mooney did fine. I mean, the movie doesn't have faults. The movie doesn't have what I would consider directorial faults. But again, it played it safe. And now you're telling me all this and realizing it sounds like they had a good movie on their hands.
Yeah.
And wokeness killed it.
Well, I'll say, if I read the script, I would think this is brilliant. And the execution did not. I feel like they needed to do a little bit more about when the turn happens with the, with the all the. I mean,
no, the turn happened when Fred Durst leads the rebellion.
Yes, there is. Fred Durst has a cameo that's supposed to be really funny, but I don't know if there were I'm sitting in the audience. It should have been a big moment. The audience is like you could feel was like, who the fuck is Fred Durst?
I know, that's what I was thinking.
They seriously, it was like, this is supposed to be, and they play it so big, and in the audience, no reaction.
I know.
And the audience I saw it with, a full theater, nearly sold out screening of this movie on a Thursday in Burbank, and no reaction.
See, if everything your friend told you is true, I mean, Kyle Mooney doesn't come off as great as he. I like Kyle Mooney. I like Kyle Mooney a lot.
But who knows what this is, A24, and I'll see anything A24 puts out, because they put
out Midsummer, right? Or
yes, I like A24 takes risks, and with this,
well, no, they don't take risks here.
No, a lot of the movies take risks. I feel like this needed to take more risks and go way over the top, and it failed. So I do not recommend it. It's a pass for me. Alan,
now that I've heard this, I'll just go to my original thoughts before ever hearing this amazing news that it was a better movie. It's okay. Nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just, it should have been better, and apparently it could have been better.
If they released an unrated cut, I would watch it. But
absolutely.
The version of this movie that they chose to release fails to live up to the promise of the trailer. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yeah. So if they release the raunchier and gorier cut, I will watch this movie again.
Movies.